All right, this is part two. You know what I'm saying? So my final deal for Amazon is 61.39. If Jeff Bezos gets greedy and he wants like 40, I'm like, Jeff, you guys like I'm nice enough to give you 39%. Realistically speaking, I should be taking 70% of the pie, even 75% of the pie. But I'm nice enough to give you 39%. This is my final offer. Take it or leave it. And you don't. And my deal is you take 39%. Me and Vita take 61%. You know what I'm saying? You don't, no hidden fees. I don't want to see any bullshit referral fees as I have the keys, so there's no excuse. Don't charge us some bullshit 50 cent, 99 cent referral fee for the movies. As I have the keys, everyone knows about my movie. Yo, that's a good deal. Yes, I have the keys, hence I don't want any bullshit referral fee. No hidden fees. You do not charge us for the payments. You don't charge us for the payments. You don't take a percentage rate of the payments. You get your flat 39, that's it. I get my flat 61%. That's the deal. As you guys are not paying a dime, me and Vij are the one funding movies. We're all in money, and it's fair that you don't charge us any hidden fees, and it's fair that we take the majority of the pie because we're worth the money obviously, and we're what? That's the deal. You see what I'm saying? And that's why all the actors' agents in Hollywood, all the actors' agents in Hollywood are gonna try and get a, are gonna what? Are gonna demand. They're gonna try and push for a piece of the pie because they know the kind of moolah me and Vij are gonna be making, man. We're gonna be making a lot of money, man. 65, 70 billion for Zanus, 42 billion for The Great Escape, 42. All my other movies, I'm gonna make the same amount of money, right? Me after Zanus, I'm gonna make on average $42 billion for around there for all my movies because I'm pricing my movies for the same amount of money. For $100. Very unique. We priced at 100. The Hidden Vat movie at 100. The Western Gangster movie 100. Obviously, so I'm gonna make the same amount of money for $42 billion on average. I mean, 40 billion around there on average. Me and Vijay will make for the movie merch for all our 5 movies. For the 4 movies. So what's 4 times 4? That's 16 billion. So by the time me and Vijay do the 4 movies, that's 160 billion dollars me and Vijay made. With the 70 billion, yeah, me and Vijay are gonna have 200+ billion dollars in our bank after the 5 movies. We're gonna become pretty much the richest people in the world. We're gonna end up by the time I release my 5 movies, me and Vijay will become the richest people in the world, pretty much. Actually, no. We'll be the second richest people in the world because the Steph families make more than us because they take all of the money made off the hundreds of trillions. The Steph families are worth like a couple $1 trillion probably, and they probably have $1.5 trillion in the bank. They're fucking loaded, man. So we'll become the richest people in the world, excluding the gatekeepers, obviously, because the gatekeepers make their tens of billions every year off the money around the world. They're fucking loaded people, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. We're gonna be loaded. We're gonna become richer than Jeff. By the time I do the 5 movies out, me and Vijay will become richer than Jeff Bezos. We'll become richer than Bill Gates. We'll become richer than Elon Musk. We'll become richer than all those guys. Either just as rich as them or richer than them. Because we have the keys. We're fucking powerful people. We're God. You see what I'm saying? But Jeff Bezos will become really rich too because he's also gonna make the billions off my movie too. But he's only taking 39% of the pie. He's not making as much as me, VJ, but he's also Jeff Bezos will end up beating Elon Musk in he'll become richer than Elon Musk once he's partners with my company because he's gonna be making I don't know he's gonna make what I don't know like 40 billion for Zanus and like on average 20 billion. Amazon will make on average like $20 billion for all my movies after Zanus. So Jeff Bezos is gonna pocket probably good like 10 billion every time he does a movie for himself. He's gonna become loaded, man. Yeah, man. Will Jeff Bezos pocket the money? Of course, Jeff Bezos is gonna pocket a good chunk of that money, obviously, because it's his money. It's his 39%. He's gonna pocket a good chunk of that money, obviously. But he's probably gonna put some of the money into the company. I don't know, build more warehouses to handle more of the orders. Yeah, he might put more money into the company. He might give the CEOs a nice bonus. You know what I'm saying? He might give the employees a raise, maybe $1.50 raise because he's cheap, obviously, right? He might give them a 16.50, I don't know, 16.50 raise. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you they might go on strike and demand like an $18 an hour raise, and Amazon might give the employees a raise. You never know. We'll see what happens, right? Yeah, hence why all the Hollywood actors agents are gonna want a piece of that moolah, man. Because they want a piece of me. Okay, fine. To keep you guys happy, I'll give you a tiny small piece. I'm saying. I guarantee you when I don't know when I fly in Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson, Keanu Reeves, some of them might get cocky and try and push for even 0.5, even 1%. My guys, You think I'm stupid? You're not worth 1% of my money. If you think I'm gonna let you get your free $400 you're $400+ you're crazy. 0.1, 0.2% is good enough. You're not getting any more than that, man. That's good enough, man. I'm nice with you're not even worth my royalties, but I'm nice enough to give you a small, tiny piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're taking all the pie, obviously, and that's my final offer. Take it. All right, Ivan, it's a deal. You're very generous. I'm saying we're not even worth the royalties. Yes, Scarlett Johansson, Ben Affleck, and Keanu Reeves know they're not worth my royalties, but I'm nice enough to give them pieces of royalties. Peter Jackson knows he's not worth my royalties either. But I'm nice enough to give them pieces of royalties. I'm nice, obviously, and I want him to work harder for me, and I want Peter Jackson to be invested in my company. Obviously. See what I'm saying? Well, Peter Jackson's worth his $300 million salary because he's big, man. He's a mastermind behind the Lord of the Rings franchise. Hence why I'm giving him 0.6% of the profits. But essentially speaking, even he's not worth my royalties. But he's worth his $300 million salary. Hence why I'm giving him 0.6% of the profits, which is like $200 million in royalties. $200+ million in royalties for Peter Jackson. And he got his $107 million salary and his bonuses. With his bonuses, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Peter Jackson signed a massive deal for Zanus, man. A fat contract, man. That's why I'm going to tell Peter, when you sign his contract, or Mel Gibson, because I might hire Mel Gibson over Peter Jackson. Don't hate Peter Jackson. But I'm speaking hypothetically. If I hire Peter Jackson like Peter, you sign this. Peter knows he signed, I don't know, his $200+ million deal for his royalties and his $107 million salary with his bonuses. Peter, you sign your nice contract. You're happy. You're going to be the boss of my company, my executive producer, my director. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get your perks, your 300 gas card. You're going to stay in a nice luxury hotel with your assistant director and a concert artist. Please, Peter, when you get this check and when you sign this contract and you're happy, I'm going to take you out to a nice dinner, obviously. You can party at my condo. Please don't go bragging. You can tell your family. He'll tell his family, obviously. Peter, don't go bragging to any of the directors in Hollywood if you go to events. You know what I'm saying? Don't go bragging. All the directors know because they saw my reels, obviously, but don't go bragging to them. You know what I'm saying? Don't go bragging to the 7 team or the actors or the crewmen that you sign his contract. Otherwise, they can get angry. You know what I'm saying? Because Peter Jackson signed a massive contract. Peter Jackson signed a massive deal. Even guys like Jon Favreau and Filoni can get envious because Peter Jackson's making way more than them. Jon Favreau signed one $10-15 million deal he signed. Jon Favreau. A $15 million deal Jon Favreau signed. $20 million deal he signed. But it's nothing compared to Peter Jackson's contract. Peter Jackson signed like a $300+ million contract. And do not tell Jon Favreau. They know, obviously, it's someone who obviously, but don't go bragging. Otherwise, Jon Favreau and Filoni can get envious, and the other members of my 7 team can get envious. The actors can get envious. Even though the actors signed a massive contract, it's not the kind of money Peter Jackson's making. You see what I'm saying? Please, Peter, don't go bragging. Oh, I have no worry about it. I'll keep my mouth shut. Yes, keep your lips sealed. That way you keep everyone happy. I'm going to tell VJ, sweetie, I know you're happy. We signed that massive deal with Amazon. I sidetracked. I want to talk about this. VJ, you know, you're happy. You signed your massive. Me and you signed our massive contract with Amazon. Obviously, please keep it to yourself. Don't go bragging to Keanu Reeves and Peter Jackson and all them for saying how much. No, I got. Yeah, did you hear the contract me and Ivan signed? We signed like a massive 61% contract. You know what I'm saying? And so if you brag to the actors can get pissed off and they can envy you. Obviously, they can get angry. Even though like guys like John Boyega and Don Cheadle signed massive deals, Ariana Grande, it's pocket change compared to how much it's peanuts compared to the contract me and VJ signed. Me and VJ signed a huge contract, man, like a $200 billion deal before taxes, right? Me and VJ signed a $200 billion deal. The contract me and VJ signed, guys, is bigger than the entire Disney Fox deal. Disney bought Fox for $60 billion, and yet the contract me and VJ signed is bigger than even that deal. It's a huge. Massive contract, man. Massive contract. Massive deal. And that's why I'm going to call it the big deal or the big contract. The big deal. It's a massive deal, man. A huge deal. Biggest movie contract ever signed in movie history. You know what I'm saying? That's why don't go bragging to the actors, VJ, how much we're getting paid. Otherwise, the Zane Tyler can get pissed off and jealous. he looks crazy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, even though we're going to make our millions, our couple million, even though we're going to make our millions, man, our IMVs are going to make their tens of billions. Fucking pie, it's chump change. I even VJ are giving us peanuts. Yeah, even though I'm giving the actors a piece of royalties, they're taking home peanuts. A small, tiny piece of the pie. They're not worth my royalties, man. But I'm not going to give them a small, tiny piece of pie. They'll appreciate you. Thank you, Ivan, I'm saying. And they're going to work double harder for you because they're now invested in your movie. You know what I'm saying? Because the actors are now a part of your movie, and they're sharing in your wealth and success, they're going to be more invested in your movie. They're going to work hard for you. Peter Jackson worked hard for you because he's invested in your movie. He knows he's going to take a nice 0.6% of the profits. He knows he's going to take a nice 0.6% of the $33 billion me and VJ made off the box office for Zane's movie, for the 4K Blu-ray movie sales. You see what I'm saying? That's why he'll work hard. He'll work really hard for me. Peter Jackson will work really, really hard. He'll work hard. You see what I'm saying? Peter Jackson will work really hard for me. You see what I'm saying? He will work hard. Yeah. If you thought Peter Jackson worked hard for Lord of the Rings, you're going to see him working way harder even in my movie. Because I gave him his freedom. My company's buried in Hollywood. Hollywood, he was a dirty slave. He had to do it constantly, obviously, while he was on set. Whereas Ivan gave him his freedom. He's free. And I paid him more money for his salary. Whereas Lord of the Rings, he only made like $10 million for the 3 movies. But he striked it rich with the royalties, obviously. But I told you, Peter Jackson didn't know how successful Lord of the Rings would be. And he still worked hard with his $10 million salary for the 3 movies. I'm paying him $65 million for 9 months of production. Way more than how much he made for Lord of the Rings for the movie, obviously. And I gave him a $10 million rich bonus for fucking pre-production. For the 3 years of pre-production, which is a fat check. He'll work hard. Like, the $10 million bonus I'm paying him is how much he made for the 3 movies. For the whole movie, and he worked hard. He'll work harder for me, obviously. That's a $10 million check. Is a nice paycheck for pre-production. That's a nice paycheck. That's millions in your bank. Yeah, man. $6+ million in your bank after taxes. Because he had the New Zealand rates, he'll make almost $7 million around there. Because you have the New Zealand rates, right? Yeah, he'll make like, and his agent takes 10%. Yeah, he'll make a lot of money. He'll work hard. Peter Jackson will work hard for me. He'll work really hard. You're gonna see him in his room with Guillermo del Toro in the hotel room taking his notes. They talk it over. Holy shit, Peter Jackson's working his ass off. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro are prepped for my movie, man. I'm gonna talk about Zanus now. Let's say assume I hire Peter Jackson. Once we start the process for Zanus, I'm going to make sure Peter Jackson, and Guillermo del Toro are prepped. Okay, Peter, you know what I'm saying? When we do the concepts, I'm going to discuss the ideas I have, and I tell Peter Jackson and Del Toro that what they know. Okay, Peter, come over to my yacht. I'll buy some beer for you guys. I'm saying I'll hire someone to drive. Let's watch Prince of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And we can get some good ideas for the Axis of Sapphires. You know what I'm saying? We can watch King Kong, get some good ideas for the insects, obviously, in King Kong. I don't have to watch King Kong, because Peter Jackson directed that. Obviously. But I'll talk to Peter, I'm thinking of something like King Kong for the insects and the jaguars. They're mutated animals. The jaguars are big jaguars. They're mutated jaguars, and the mosquitoes are mutated insects. They're big insects almost the size of your hand. They bite the people like King Kong. And that's why he's really good for Zanus, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll watch Passion of the Christ. Okay, Peter, I'm thinking of something like this for mature Tactius in Volume 3. He knows his destiny. He knows who he is. I'm thinking of something like this for what? For Volume 3 for Tactius. You know what I'm saying? We watch Young Messiah. Okay, I'm thinking of something like this for Young I'm thinking of something like this for Young Tactius. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Passion of Christ, I'm thinking of something like that for Volume 3, mature Tactius. So when Tactius is a kid, think something like Young Messiah. You know what I'm saying? And Peter Jackson can get some good ideas. Now way you help him out, he knows. Now he's prepped, and he can take his notes for the Young Tactius chapter. You know what I'm saying? Tactius is lost. He doesn't know his destiny. Yeah, he takes those notes. That way he knows. And Guillermo del Toro helps him out. I want Guillermo del Toro watching the movies with me too, because he's your assistant director. And I'll have Jon Favreau only watch the movies with me too. Hey guys, come over to my yacht. Beer's on me. I'll buy beer. Obviously, we can watch the movies in my yacht. Obviously, and after the movie, we can fire it up. I order some pizza for you guys. We can fire it up afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I'm spoiling the shit out of them. Obviously, let's watch the movie in my yacht. That way we can get some good ideas for the movie. Obviously, that way Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro are prepped. I'm gonna ask Peter Jackson, Peter, do you know anyone? Do you know anyone from the Lord of the Rings crewmen who can assist you with the concept arts and the script? If you want, I can hire those guys to help you out. If you want to, or is Guillermo del Toro and Jon Favreau only me and VJ enough? No, it's enough. We don't need to hire more people. Yeah, as I guarantee you for Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson probably only did meetings with Fran Philip, and like maybe a couple of the studio execs, and that's it. But me and VJ are the studio. Me and VJ are the studio execs. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the studio execs too. As it's good enough, obviously. I don't have to what? I don't have to hire more people. It's enough. Those minds are more than enough to plan your movie. You don't need to hire more people. Hey Peter, if you want to hire that frown woman to help you out, you can hire her if you want to help you out with the concerts. But I don't need her. You know what I'm saying? I read your book. Yeah, I have you. You know what I'm saying? I have VJ help. VJ's also going to help him out too. Yeah, it's more than enough minds towards it. And Guillermo del Toro will help him out. More than enough people to help him out. Jon Favreau definitely will help him out. See what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. Right? If you have Peter Jackson do the concert arts with you every day, 5 days a week for the 1 year, we discuss the characters and the world building with John Allen Lee, obviously, and we discuss the movie. I give him my ideas, he gives me his ideas, obviously. We come to an agreement, obviously. We have the same vision of the story, and you have him co-write it with you. He knows all the scenes inside and out. I have him watch those movies with me. That way he can get some good ideas. Okay, we'll watch Passion of the Christ, Prince of Egypt, Young Messiah, to get some good ideas for what? For what? For the story. Young Messiah is a perfect movie to watch for the Young Tactics chapter. You have young Jesus, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know his destiny, and he's an innocent kid. Yeah. Watch Young Messiah, we get some good ideas of that. Alright, that's smart. Yeah, we watch Young Messiah. We're gonna watch Pastor of Christ to get some good ideas for Mature Tactics, Volume 3. You know what I'm saying? And we watch what? And we watch Prince of Egypt to get some ideas for the Axis of Sapphires. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That way we get some good ideas for the movie. And if you do that, and Peter Jackson takes his notes every day and goes... If Peter Jackson takes his notes every day with Guillermo del Toro and goes over the script from what we wrote down so far... Peter, even though you're gonna have weekends off, I want you constantly going over the script. I'll go over the script with VJ. I want Jon Favreau and Filoni doing that too. Okay, guys, even though I'm gonna give you weekends off, but every time it doesn't hurt. I want you going over the script at least. Dedicate a good 30 minutes of your time, an hour of your time, and go over the script. Go over what we wrote down so far. Go over some of the script. That way, you guys are prepped, man. Jon Favreau and Filoni. I'm gonna give Jon Favreau and Filoni Peter Jackson's notes. That way they can study his notes and they can help him out during filming. That way everybody's prepped and no one wings it and everyone and Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, and Jon Favreau and Filoni destroy the directing job. And you get a fucking masterpiece of a movie. So I'm saying I know what I'm doing. I don't want Peter Jackson to wing. He'll be like, I even know where, but I won't wing it. I promise. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault for The Hobbit. Warner Bros. Did me dirty. You know what I'm saying? Guillermo del Toro bailed on me. You know what I'm saying? And I have to come in and fix Warner Bros. Mess. They only gave me 3 months to prepare, obviously. And I have to wing it. I had no choice. Yeah, it's not Peter Jackson's fault that he winged it. No, Guillermo del Toro bailed on the project, obviously. And then Peter Jackson had to come in and fix Warner Bros. Mess. Something messy happened, and they only gave Peter Jackson 3 weeks. Because Warner Bros. Already poured so much money towards the project, they didn't want to put more money towards the movie. Hence why they only gave Peter Jackson 3 months to prepare. Okay, guys. We already poured more than our money towards the movie. We don't want to put any more money towards the movie. We have to... They gave Peter Jackson 3 months, and Peter Jackson had to wing it, obviously. And for someone who winged it, he did a pretty good job. Even though The Hobbit wasn't as good as Lord of the Rings, it wasn't terrible like the Star Wars sequels, I'm saying. It was pretty good. The first 2 movies were okay. I give it a 6 out of 10. They were pretty good movies. 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. They're pretty good movies. They weren't Lord of the Rings, obviously, but they were pretty good movies. They were okay movies. Whereas with Battle of the Farm Armies was bad. You can tell Peter Jackson's stress and his winging it caught up to him, and hence why Battle of the Farm Armies was a total mess. It was terrible. Battle of the Farm Armies was a bad movie, man. That was not. I give it a 4 out of 10. That was Peter Jackson knows what I'm talking about, Ivan. Battle of the Farm Armies was bad. Yeah, Battle of the Farm Armies was a bad movie. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Smaug and Unexpected Journey were what? Desolation of Smaug and Unexpected Journey were okay movies, but I told you the reason why the movies were not great is because Peter Jackson was not prepped. He winged it, hence why the movies were a little messy, and they were okay movies. They weren't terrible, they were okay, but the reason why it was a little messy because what? because Peter Jackson was not prepped. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson was 100% prepped, man. He co-wrote the script. He co-wrote the whole script with Fran and Philip, you know what I'm saying? He co-wrote the script with them, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He did the concert arts with John Howe and Ali and all them. They drew for the movie, obviously, and then he did Peter Jackson had 3 years of pre-production before production started. Hence why the movie was very good. He was prepped. Whereas for The Hobbit, who was not prepped, he only had like 3 months to prep. Hence why the movie was a mess. He was winging it. He winged it, obviously. Hence why the movies were a bit messy, you know what I'm saying? The third one was a mess. It was terrible. Battle for Armies was a bad movie. I remember I saw it on theaters. I was falling asleep. Oh my god, this movie's terrible. With Destination Smog, I had a pretty good time on theaters watching that. But I didn't see the first one in theaters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, so okay, what I'm gonna do, the moment I hire Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro, I will do like 3 days worth. Okay, John, Dave. I'm not gonna have you guys work for 3 days. You guys are gonna do the board meetings with me and VJ, Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, and George Lucas. Obviously, I could have Peter Jackson hire a few assistants to help him if he wants. Peter, I'm gonna ask Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, guys. Do you need assistants who worked on? Okay, Peter, do you know any assistants who worked on Lord of the Rings who can help you with the pre-production, or are you guys good? No, we're good. We don't need any help because you have me and VJ. Obviously, me and VJ and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the studio heads of the company. Obviously, more than enough people to help out Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro. We don't need to hire more people. Some saying. And 3 concert artists and stuff. I'm not going to hire like 10 concert artists. No. John Howe, Alan Lee, and the one who drew for Penguins and Clowns are more than enough for the concert artists. They're going to be hard at work drawing hundreds of pictures. Hence why you have to pay them the nice $200,000 salary. That way they work hard for you. And you have them stay in a luxury hotel and feed them for the 5-6 months. That way they work hard for you. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So during those 3 days, I'm gonna have about 3 days of board meetings. So while I do the board meetings, my other 5 are gonna be hard at work in the office making business calls. I don't pay you for nothing. Okay, I need you guys making the calls. I need you guys to start making all the business cards. Okay, I want you calling the photography studio company. We need to prep for the ad shoot 2 months later. I want you making those calls. I'm gonna find a way to put you to work. Yeah, man. I'm gonna have the other 5 make business calls. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. And what? And I'll do 2 to 3 days of board meetings all day long from 9 to 5 in the afternoon. So I'll do the board meetings either in the concert art room or I'll do it in my boardroom. In my boardroom, I'll do it in the concert room. The concert room is better for the meetings. The boardroom is only meant for signing contracts, eating lunch, and no. I'll do the board meetings in my nice luxury boardroom in my studio office. So it'll be me, Peter Jackson, Guillermo del Toro, VJ, obviously, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They're going to be with me. So for 3 days, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni will be doing no work. All they're going to be doing is sitting in the boardroom with me discussing the movie. Me and VJ will print out our notes. We go over the notes. We go over the notes that we took. Obviously, okay. We discuss the changes we made in the movie. That way, me and VJ are prepped. That way, me, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Peter Jackson are prepped when we write the script. We talk about the changes. Okay, Peter, I don't want Erethat and all of them having axes. I want them having swords. I don't want Taki's eyes glowing blue. No, I want his pupils changing color. You know Dune? You know Timothy? You know that Timothy actor? You know how in Dune his eyes like change color? Think of something like that. I want Taki's eyes, they change color. If you have it, if you have it glow blue, it'll be a bit silly. Yeah, if you have Taki's eyes glow blue, it'll be a bit silly. It's fine for the book, for the movie, it will look very silly. Have Taki's eyes change color. And you can have Erethat's eyes change color too, like Taki's, they change color red. Don't have his eyes glowing, no, otherwise it'll be silly. Just have his pupils change color. Or you don't have to have Erethat's pupils change color at all. We make some minor changes in the story if you want. And we discuss the changes. I'm also going to talk to Alan Lee. Okay, Alan Lee will ask, okay, Ivan, what do you want Erethat to look like? Okay, Alan Lee, I want Erethat to be something like Pennywise the Clown. Then Guillermo del Toro and Peter might ask, okay, Ivan, what do you want Erethat to look like? I don't know, Peter. I want Erethat to look something like Pennywise the Clown, except he's He's a wolf, but he has human features. And Guillermo del Toro's like, Ivan, what if he looks like a werewolf? Like, no, guys, I don't want Aratet to look like a werewolf. Otherwise, the movie won't be as good. If you have Aratet be a werewolf, the movie won't be as good. I'm telling you now, I know what I'm doing. Do not have him be a werewolf. No, it won't be as good. And do not have him be a wolf on 4 legs. Oh my god. It'll be terrible. No. Have him be a wolf with human features like the orcs in Lord of the Rings and the Ring Race. Except he's an animal, but he has human features. You know how Pennywise the Clown looks human, but he's a monster? Yeah. Aratet looks like Pennywise the Clown. I'm going to look, man. I don't want him looking like exactly like Pennywise. No, I want him having some features similar to Pennywise the Clown. You know that clown feature? Yeah, I want him to have that. He's a psychotic devil wolf king. He has that demonic look, and he's an animal, but he has like human features. He's a devil wolf king in the South. That way you create a powerful story. And if a fool is his son, so he looks similar to what? The Aratet, obviously. I want Ephesus to look like that devil being in Annabelle. And the hybrid of the boss of Lord of the Rings. Tell John Howland that what you know. Here, Ivan, what are you thinking of for the North? I don't know. I'm thinking something holy like Rivendell. What are you thinking of for the Valley of the Blood? I don't know. I'm thinking of that valley. Remember when the Rohan War and Return of the King, that huge valley? Think of something like that for the Valley of the Blood. And remember the marshes? Think of something like that. You have dead things on the valley, and you tell them not to what they know. What are you thinking of the Ancient Galaxy? I don't know. I'm thinking something like Moria, except it has a cavey appearance. You have pillars. It has a cavey appearance, but it's a big city, a big, huge city. Tell John Howland not the way they know. I'm not going to tell John Howland. Okay, look, guys. I'm not going to tell you. I'll give you a few ideas for what. I'll give you a few ideas for the labs. But at the end of the day, I trust you guys. I'm going to rely on you guys to what? To create and draw my lands. Because you guys know more than me about designing lands and all stuff, I'm saying. And John Howland, Alan Lee, and the one that you for Pennywise the Clown, they create my world, and you get this beautiful world of the North, the South. Here, Ivan, what are you thinking of? Okay, Peter asked me, okay, Ivan, what are you thinking of? And I'm saying, we have to discuss this in the board meeting before we even pen down the script. Peter, before we pen down the script, you know what I'm saying? Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Peter, before we pen down the script, we need to what? We need to discuss for a good, like, 2-3 days the movie. Okay, Peter, I want Zane's to be an 11+ hour movie. That way I tell a good story. Okay, Peter, how long of a script do we need to write? I don't know, Ivan. I read your book. We need to write a good, like, 380+ script. And we write, like, a 400+ page script. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Peter, I want Zane's to be one movie, like your Lord of the Rings, except it's 3 separate volumes. Just like Lord of the Rings was one story told in 3 separate movies. Okay, Ivan, you're saying, yeah. Tell Peter that the way he knows. Hey, Peter, I don't want to do one movie and then we rush him. Otherwise, we have to rush everything. No, I want the story told very carefully. A nice 11-hour movie like Lord of the Rings, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. One story told in 3 volumes the way Peter Jackson knows. And Guillermo del Toro knows. We talk about Eric. Okay, Peter, I want the wolves to look something like Pennywise the Clown. And I want the bats to look something like that devil being Annabelle in the boss of the Rings. Peter Jackson's like, Ivan, what about a full-on CGI wolf? I'm like, Peter, no, I don't want a full-on CGI wolf. Otherwise, the movie won't be as good. Peter, please, stay away. I know all you directors in Hollywood love that CGI computer look. Please, Peter, I am not a fan of that CGI computer look. Ivan, you hate CGI? I don't hate CGI. I hate full-on CGI. Full-on CGI I can't stand because it makes the world look very computery. It looks a bit cheesy. It looks amazing, but it looks a bit computery. No, stay away from that. Have the world look natural, like Robin Hood. Remember Russell Crowe's Robin Hood? It looked very natural. You know what I'm saying? You know how Lord of the Rings looks very natural? Yes, I want it to look natural like Lord of the Rings. I don't want that computery look, Peter. Tell him not the way he knows. Okay, Ivan, if you want your world to look natural, we're gonna need to rent. Okay, Ivan, what cameras do you want to rent? Okay, Peter, I want to rent a good 10 cameras. I want to rent the IMAX cameras. Okay, Peter, does IMAX are IMAX cameras only digital or they also have film? No, Ivan, they have film IMAX cameras. Okay, Peter, I want to rent the film IMAX cameras away. I get the natural look. Tell him that the way he knows. Discuss it discuss all this in the board meetings. I'm saying. Okay, Peter, how does CGI technology work? Where do I? What I'm saying, I'm saying, yeah, Ivan, you're gonna have to rent. Can you rent it? Yeah, Ivan, you can rent it. You have to rent the computer software. Okay. How does it work? Like, how do you put money towards the Who asked me, Ivan, how much money do you want to put towards special effects? I don't know, Peter. $410 million, $450 million. He's like, what? Guillermo del Toro and Jon Favreau are all shocked. Holy shit. Ivan's company blows high. Peter's like, Ivan, you're looking at something better than Avatar, Pandora, and fucking My Middle Earth, man. You're looking at Unheard of, yeah. Your world will look very natural, Ivan, but it'll look really amazing. Because you poured, even better than Avatar, because you poured $400+ million towards salaries. I'm saying, okay, Peter, I want to build the sets. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about the sets, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, Peter, for the Wall of Zanus, do you want to build a cheap miniature set, and you have the people film the set, the miniature set, obviously, and we apply special effects towards the set, like you did for Two Towers, for the gates of for the Black Gate, obviously, or do you want to build an actual wall on location? No, Ivan. The only reason why we had to rely on a lot of miniature sets for movies because we just couldn't afford it. We had a small budget. Okay, Peter, how does $30 million towards Zeppelin sound? And Peter Jackson's shocked. Jon Favreau was shocked. Holy shit, Ivan. $30 million towards Zeppelin? For Mandalorian, we only had like a $5 million budget for sets. For Lord of the Rings, we only had like a $3 million budget for sets. You putting $30 million towards Zeppelin, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ivan, if you put $30 million towards Zeppelin, that's more than enough money to build. You can build your nice, like, okay, Peter, if we build the wall on location for Zanus, for the exterior shots, obviously. Okay, Peter, how I want it to work is all the exterior scenes, you know what I'm saying, where you get the high shot footage view, and when we're outside in the city, obviously, that's filmed on location, whereas all the scenes filmed indoor, like the banquet hall, the throne room with Sarah, we can build that in a studio. Yeah, we can do that, yeah. All the interior scenes, we can build it in a studio, like the chambers, at the banquet hall parties, Queen Sarah's hall, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, we can build all your sets on location. It'll make your world look more real. Remember how Helm's Deep looked very real? Yeah, Helm's Deep was built on location. Obviously. Helm's Deep was built on location. Hence why it looked... Remember how you saw Helm's Deep? It looked amazing? Yeah. Because they built it on location, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Minas Tirith was built on location, too. Yeah. Remember how they applied the special effects towards that city? It looked amazing. Yeah. Obviously. Hence why I want a lot of my sets built on location. And we discussed that with Peter Jackson went tour. We need to discuss all this, that way what? Where everyone's prepped and everyone knows what to do, obviously. Okay, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, you guys produced Mandalorian. You guys know all the. I told you when I planned SkySource with VJ, obviously, I'm gonna have the engineers and George Lucas help me. Okay, George, do you know all the best companies? Yeah, I know all the best companies. Okay. I'm going to tell the engineers, look, to make it easy for my 17, look, man, all the best companies that Hollywood uses for their movies, for the film cameras, the equipment for the cameras, the special effects, the costumes, the armor, the weapons, the set building, you know what I'm saying? Everything, obviously. All the best farms in Switzerland, you know what I'm saying? The best farms in Switzerland. I want you putting that all in the system. That way it's easy for my 17. And the engineers, okay, and George Lucas tells me all the best companies. That way, when you start your company, you're 7, it's easy for 17. All the best companies are